What's poppin', y'all? I know some of y'all used to pray for times like this, and the prayers have been answered because Megan Thee Stallion and her new boo that she was parading around for well over the past year, Klay Thompson, NBA superstar, have broken up. And why did they break up? Well, she would first announce it on her IG story. And on her IG story, she would say the following: cheating, had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet. Now, keep in mind the cold feet. We're going to get into that a bit later because I think a lot of people are skipping through some things. Holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me. Really? Okay. During your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous? I need a real break after this one. ... Bye, y'all. And she would put out a statement. This is hilarious, Doug. Her and her PR put out a statement via TMZ where she said, "I've made the decision to end my relationship with Klay. Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship." Really? Is it respect when your girl, your homegirl, your best friend is trying to get with an individual by the name of Tory Lanez and she doesn't know that you're cracking him consistently? Oh, and taking private jets to go there? Okay, well, maybe these are in a relationship, like if it's a friendship, she's fine with that. But when it comes to a relationship between her man, he needs to have those qualities. And when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward. I'm taking this time to prioritize myself and move ahead with peace and clarity. Now, I think Megan Thee Stallion is anything but peaceful, but let's just do a little bit of a rewind. That's the terrible rewind sound. But let's just go back to December, right? Because this goes back to what I was talking about, because there was this report on one of these platforms, which we are blurring out. I'm not shilling any of these platforms, and even if they pay me, I'm not shilling them. But it says, will Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion be engaged before 2027? And it said a 73% chance. And this was December 17, 2025. And a lot of y'all lost paper off of that. Whoever thought that was going to happen. But this goes back to one of the statements that she made. But she was flexing everything. And I'm going to play you guys this one clip from an interview where she was talking about how he was such a nice guy.
Husband, I'm praying.
You want me to have a husband?
Yeah. Don't you want a husband? Don't you want a family?
I just want a nice person. And what?
So you just want a relationship?
I don't just want a relationship. I want to be with somebody who loves me.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Who cares about me.
Okay.
I want to really genuinely be happy.
You want a family?
I do want a family.
How many?
I want like 5 kids.
I have never dated somebody so kind. Like, this is my first relationship where I ever been with somebody who's genuinely a nice person. And he makes me genuinely happy. Like, I just never dated somebody like him before. And I'm just grateful that he here by my side and he feel the same way about me.
Here she is talking about how amazing everything is. Talking about, oh yeah, I just want somebody that loves me. I just want a connection. She doesn't want to say like, yeah, I want to get married. But Shannon Sharp, Unc Shannon, he trying to push for that. We're not forgetting that he made a grave mistake, paid a chick 20 M's, and she got the hell out of there. Hoo-wee, she hit a lick on him. And then once again, she was flexing if we rewind a little bit further to October in 2025, because she would rap and she would say in a song, Lover Girl. So she's even dedicating songs to this guy. This is crazy. We really don't see a female rapper like Meg. I'm a savage. Sassy, moody, ratchet. That's what she says about herself. She flips it on its head, and now she's dropping songs called Lover Girl and saying, my man say my lady, he never say my B. Some make excuses. He make that ish exist. Well, it looks like he giveth and he taketh away, because he took away whatever situation she thought was going to manifest out of this. And then let's just circle back to August, right? August, Megan Thee Stallion, she is known to be a cook, but we haven't seen her doing anything like that.
It is the best thing I've ever tasted. My favorite meal. With catfish, spaghetti, and Hawaiian rolls. And it just goes down.
Tell me what you think.
First bite.
Yeah.
So good. Flawless.
Looks good, babe?
It was amazing. Didn't stand a chance. This.
I'm not gonna lie, the second one, him saying first bite, it sounds like somebody that is not about to enjoy that meal. It sounds like he's held hostage. Is there a Glock behind it or something? What's going on? We don't know. But the point is, she changed up her whole brand. She was on IG stories just cooking. She wasn't like a Cardi B that said I would never cook, but this was out of character. So we're 8 months ago? So I wonder what's happening during this time. And then also, let's take into consideration, Klay Thompson was also showing love too. So it's not like people are going to try to play it off as, Klay Thompson, he was just thugging. He was just doing his thing. Yeah, he was just No, he wasn't. Let's stop here. You know who finessed Megan Thee Stallion? A Blueface. Blueface went over there, cracked DaBaby. DaBaby cracked it the day before Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez was a lover boy over Megan Thee Stallion. Let's not mince words here. Yeah, he was loving on her. Now, granted, was he loving on her as much as he loved the opportunity of potentially getting with Kylie Jenner when he was at the peak of his fame with Quarantine Radio in 2020 that led to what inevitably that night got him locked up right now? No, he was not a lover boy to that extent with Megan Thee Stallion. Kylie Jenner still superseded that. But Klay Thompson, back in November, he named his boat SS Stallion. And it's Houston, Texas. You see it right there. So he was showing a lot of love to her. He was defending her. So this was his girl, for sure. And even in February, you could see her on IG Live talking about Klay Thompson and how happy she was in this relationship. But you notice that they had unfollowed each other.
I feel like I don't know what's going on. That's their boyfriend weight. That's their Klay weight. All you do is feed me. I feel like I never get on live and talk about the things I want to talk about. First of all, because I feel like everybody be trying to hold me. I get on this hoe and I breathe and they be like, Megan Thee Stallion. Breathe wrong. Everything's collapsing.
So there were probably issues from February because that's when the unfollowing happened. And people were like, yo, y'all are reading too much into it. Megan's just enjoying life, this and that. And hey, listen, some people were saying they never followed each other in the first place. But clearly, there was something going on here. And then he would also defend her to reporters. So September in 2025, he got asked a question, Klay Thompson, and this is what he had to say.
A number of reasons. But for you, how have you balanced this summer for you? And more importantly, how has your relationship made you better as a man on and off the floor? And how that's going to move forward for you as far as your career?
My relationship with
Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm not going to talk about that, but I will say that every summer doesn't change for me because I know what it takes to go the distance, and there's really no such thing as an off season. The summertime is just as strenuous as the season, and you have to train as if you're going to play 100 games a year. And that's what I do.
Here's an important thing, too. He said he doesn't want to speak on it. And he has to train the same way that he does. And I think this was potentially a point of contention between them in their relationship. Because, like I said, in the IG story, she said, holding you down through your horrible mood swings during your basketball season. I think she's exaggerating. Because this is the thing. Megan Thee Stallion, she's not 19. She's not 20. She's not just some college girl. She was on the cusp of being... No, actually, let me not disrespect her like that. Megan Thee Stallion was briefly a female rap superstar. She had a #1 with Savage. She had a song with Beyonce. She had a song with Nicki Minaj that did well. And she had that #1 with Cardi B WAP. I can't believe I was about to knock her like that. And she had a whole cultural movement with Hot Girl Summer. So she was briefly a female, and then Cobra, which was the diss towards Nicki Minaj, which I felt like that was really a manufactured #1, being honest here. But with all that wrapped up, and good news, was that her? Yeah, good news. I was about to say good AM. I was like, I could never disrespect the quality of Mac Miller's music by making the mistake and labeling her album with his album title. I could never do you like that, Mac Miller. But I don't think this guy was going through mood swings. She knew what it was. My point is she has experience. So she's been with, people allege that she's been with everybody in the industry. She's had relationships with everybody. So she's been around the block. Some people will say she knows what she likes, right? So she didn't get fooled. Are you kidding me? It's an NBA player. She knew what it was. And I think he was in a relationship with her. I think he was loving on her. And I think she, like I said earlier, remember when she said, got cold feet? And you remember when there was a 73% chance of them getting engaged before 2027. What I think happened is she was pushing for an engagement and saying like, yo, when are we going to get married? Like basically she proposed. And he said, what do you mean when we get married? And she crashed out. I think that's what it is. And then I think because there's no, you don't know if you can be monogamous because what were you this entire time? There's no way that Megan Thee Stallion was out in public with this guy, booed up like that, knowing that he was with other chicks the entire time, behind her back. Important to note that. Because what also might have happened, because people do say Megan Thee Stallion is a freak, and this is just, I'm not even going to hit source trust me bro, because when I use that source trust me bro, I'm actually telling something valid. But this is just completely a rumor that has spread around, is that Megan Thee Stallion, she be messing with chicks too. So what possibly happened in their relationship, the way that she's writing this out, is I think she pressured for marriage, or she was allowing other women into their relationship, into their situation, and they would have, group activities together. And I think she said like, hey, when we get married, all this stuff is out the door, right? And Klay Thompson's like, wait, what? You mean I'm not going to have other chicks with you when we get married? I thought this was, a done deal. I think he felt like he got rug pulled. And he's like, wait, hold on, what? So I'm going to commit to you and I'm going to give you a ring and we're going to get married and I'm going to get less women than before? I don't know if I'm ready for that. And that is what I honestly believe happened. Because we know Megan Thee Stallion is a stone cold liar. She lied to Gayle King on live television. You don't think she's going to lie or distort the truth in this scenario? Let's be real here. And I think that also makes sense because if Megan Thee Stallion is organizing something like this with other chicks, she's likely going to have them sign NDAs, and that's why it didn't get out. Because if Klay Thompson was cheating on her and it was just some random chick, we would know about it. If you're a celebrity, it's too difficult right now, especially if they're a domestic celebrity. Like let's say he's in the US and he's cheating on his popular girlfriend and they're both famous in the US, it's getting out because the girl is going to tell another girl, that's going to turn into a rumor, that's going to make a TikTok about it, that's going to go viral, that everybody is going to talk about. So he's going to get caught unless he's the one that's, making sure that they sign NDAs. But I don't think he would risk that. So the only way that it didn't leak, or one of the few ways in that it didn't leak, is because they were both in on it. Because if the girl leaks it, then there isn't any tea, so to speak, because Megan already knows that this is going on, as opposed to Klay just with a random chick. And also think about it. A random chick shows up somewhere with Klay, there's going to be a flick of it. Somebody's taking a photo of it. This guy is very, 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 very famous. So that is the situation that I'm thinking about. And like I said, if Megan Thee Stallion can't make it work with the nicest guy she's ever been with, just talking sweet about him the entire time, and then now she flips it on him, and of course she's blaming him, not saying that, I did this wrong. She's not taking any accountability for anything that happened in their situation. We all know it's Megan's fault. Or, perhaps Klay Thompson just wasn't man enough to defend her and accept her past. Some people, they're just not man enough like that. They don't make men like that anymore, to be honest. Like, me, I'm just a boy, so I wouldn't know. I can't handle that. I'm not that strong-willed. Some people, they may be that strong-willed. It's like Klay Thompson. There's good basketball players and there's not good basketball players, and he just happens to be one of the very good ones. But that doesn't mean it translates to everything else. Doesn't mean he's a good man, like she told us. But y'all let me know what you think about my conspiracy theory. Does that make sense? Because what does she mean monogamous? Because like I said, if they weren't monogamous, if they weren't officially, quote unquote, in a relationship, she wouldn't be posting him up and all that. She would be doing what she did with Tory Lanez, which is nobody really knew about it. She would be doing what she did with DaBaby. Nobody really knew about it. She would be doing what she did with Blueface. Nobody really knew about it. And who knows, however many other guys. But we did hear rumors from her ex-assistant too, saying that she gets drunk and not only does she get ratchet, which we also heard from the Kylie party, but she also be getting into it with chicks. And I think that possibly why Klay Thompson stayed with her for so long, and he wasn't willing to give that up. Because Megan Thee Stallion, if you bring forth that, hey, you're the chick that's going to date him and you're going to bring in other chicks, and then you take that away, you're really scamming him. But hey, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.